Welcome to yoga. Thanks for coming. We're going to talk about and practice balance today. And we're going to begin our centering with in a seated position. So find a comfortable seat. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. You can have your legs out in front or even sit in a chair. So find that seat and notice your foundation, what parts of your body are touching the mat or the chair or whatever. And close your eyes. Just take a few moments to settle into your body, awareness inside. Try to relax where you can, especially around your face, your jaw, your neck, shoulders down from the ears, but do maintain a tall, straight spine. So gently lifting up through the crown of your head, just very gently maintaining the alignment. And we're going to do a practice, a pranayama called Nadi Shodhan. It's alternate nostril breathing. And it evens out, through the left and right nostril. It is said to balance the left and right sides of the brain, which have different functions. So, during the day, you automatically are breathing more through one side of your nose than the other. You're not even aware of it. Your body is maintaining that equilibrium on its own. So begin by, if you're right-handed, so we're going to you'll use your dominant hand to close off one side of the nose or the other. So let's begin there. Take if you're right-handed, whatever your dominant hand is, the middle finger and index finger resting lightly on the space between your eyebrows. So just like a kickstand there. And then we'll use the thumb. I'm speaking from right-handed, so just translate for yourself. The thumb to close off the right nostril when that's called for. Just feel the cartilage part, the bony kind of part, where that meets the soft flesh of your nostril. Just a very light pressure. And then when we close off the left side, we'll use the ring finger and perhaps pinky, but probably just the ring finger on there. So that's the position of your right hand, and then the left hand will be resting on your left thigh with the thumb and index finger touching. So making a little ring there. That's a mudra, a hand gesture or position. So I will guide you through the beginning and then let you do a few rounds on your own. So you've got your kickstand, your middle and index finger, and just keep your hand relaxed and gently close your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through the left. At the top of the inhale, pause just briefly. Close your left nostril with your ring finger. Pause again. And then lift your thumb, open your right nostril, and exhale slowly through it. Pause briefly. Inhale through your right nostril. At the top of the inhale, pause, close both nostrils, and watch. Just briefly notice what's happening. Then open your left nostril and exhale. So that's the cycle. You will now inhale through your left, close it off, both nostrils closed for a brief pause. Exhale down your right, brief pause. Inhale, right, close the right off, brief pause with both sides closed. Open the left, exhale down the left. So continue like this. Exhaling and inhaling, pause, and then to the other side, exhaling, inhaling, pause, and just like that. A few more rounds. Now the next time you come to an inhale, just bring your hands down, and we're going to try the same breath but without using our fingers. So we're just going to mentally breathe up and down, exact same pattern, but without actually closing off the nostril. It's a lot easier than you might think. So I will guide you mentally. So bring your both hands to rest on your thighs with the thumb and middle finger, thumb and index finger joined. Reaffirm the lengthening up through the crown of your head. Nice tall spine. Open chest. Inhale through your right nostril. Pause. Exhale down the left. Inhale up the left. Pause. Exhale down the right. Inhale up the right. Pause. Exhale down the left. Just a few more rounds like that. Directing your breath with your mind. Face relaxed. No struggle. And the next time you come to an inhale, just release the pranayama. Remain with your eyes closed and mindfully deepen, even, lengthen your breath. Slow, deep, even breaths. Ujjayi, if you know and practice Ujjayi, don't have to, but it is a nice tool for keeping focus on your breath, for managing your breath. So now that we've balanced the sides of our brain, first step in our balance practice, take a moment based on what you see in your body, your mind, your emotions, thinking about maybe why you came to yoga today, what you hope to take away, and create an intention. Positive affirmation, dedication. And repeat that a few times in your mind and then seal it away and revisit as needed during practice. We're going to begin practice today on our backs, so come over onto your back in a supine position. Legs lengthen out through your legs. Bring your arms back overhead. Lengthen out in two directions. Spread your toes, spread your fingers. Stay right in this formation. Inhale, exhale. Slow, deep, even breaths. And on the next inhale, lengthen out through your right foot and your right arm. So lengthen the whole right side of your body. Exhale, release. Next inhale, lengthen the left side of your body. Keep your fingers and toes spread. Lengthen all the way up the left side. Exhale, release. Inhale, diagonal, left foot, right arm. Lengthen out asymmetrically. And then your next inhale, diagonal, right leg, left arm. And then come back to a full body stretch. Exhale, and then bring your feet to the mat, bend your knees, lengthen your legs up toward the ceiling, your feet up toward the ceiling, feet are flexed, and then bring your fingers up toward the ceiling, so arms and legs reaching up. Begin to rotate your ankles and your wrists. Slowly and mindfully. So wrists and ankles are important in balance poses. They need to be strong. Rotate the other direction. Really feel the joints going through their full range of motion. And then flex and extend, so fingers and toes back and pointing up. Flex, extend. Notice how the difference between your wrist rotation and extension and your ankles. And then pause. Bring your arms down by your sides, your feet to the mat. Spread your fingers, press your hands down into the mat, hands and arms. Activate your core, so bring your low back down to the mat. Press your navel toward your spine, so you're pressing, taking the arch out of your low back. Lift your lower legs, so you're at right angles, like you're sitting in a chair. Keeping your low back pressed to the mat, so core active here. This is kind of a awakening of the core. And begin bicycle movements. So reach your right leg out, left knee toward your chest. Just slow, mindful circles. Always keeping your core engaged. You can reach out further, in tighter, whatever works, but slow circles, keeping your low back anchored to the mat. And then begin to reverse your circles. So pedal backwards. Be mindful, move slowly. This is good for your core strength. And slow your circles down. Bring your feet back to the mat. Now bring the bottoms, the soles of your feet together, and let your knees move out to the side. If you want to put a support under your knee, if it's not comfortable, feel free to do that. Press your lower back toward the floor just gently. So that's like tucking your tailbone gently. Raise your arms up toward the ceiling, fingers up toward the ceiling, and take a hold of opposite elbows. And bring your arms down toward your chest, and then begin to make circles. So arms out to the right, and then up overhead, out to the left, back to center. Legs are stationary, but lightly press your feet together, and remember to keep a tuck in your tailbone so your lower back is not overarching. So opening up the shoulders here, we just opened up the hips with the bicycles. And then slow the circles down and begin to circle in the opposite direction. Notice any places that might feel kind of sticky or tight, and move mindfully through those areas. If you experience pain, back away, modify. Remember, yoga is about effort, but not struggle. And then slow your arms down. Use your hands against your thighs to bring your knees up. And on an exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands either behind the thighs or around your shins. And take any movement, rocking. If you would like to, on an exhale, bring your belly in and lift your head and shoulders toward your knees. That's an option. And then cross your ankles and rock up and come on around to an all-four position, tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, neutral spine. So just lengthen out through the crown of your head and through your tailbone, long spine here. On an inhale, let your belly and chest drop down. Don't overarch your cervical spine, so keep your gaze maybe a little ahead, but not too far up. Exhale, push into the mat, round your back, tuck your tailbone, cat pose. So moving with your slow, deep, even breath, mindfully through cat and cow. Flexing and extending the spine, juicing it up. Try to keep your focus, your mind, your awareness right with the movement. So it's a moving meditation. And then come back to tabletop, come back to neutral. And on an exhale, round your back, bring your right knee toward your nose. And on an inhale, lengthen the right leg out. Foot is flexed. Now there's going to be some options here. This is a first balance pose. So balance is about foundation, core. So activate your core here. And gaze, something that's not moving. And you can, on an exhale, bring your knee to your nose. And then inhale, lengthen out. If you want to bring your arm into it, lengthen your left arm out. And on the exhale, elbow and knee in. Inhale, extend. So you can do the leg only or the arm with it. Make sure your core stays active. And then hold. So if you have been doing leg only, option here to add the arm in the hold. Breathe. Lengthen out through your arm and leg, and or leg. Slow, deep breath. Come out anytime effort turns to struggle. And now return your hand and knee to the mat and come back into child's pose. Just release everything down into the mat. Breathing into your back heart, your back body. Back ribs expand. And then on an inhale, come back to tabletop, and we'll repeat that sequence to the other side. So your options here are to work the left, bring the left knee in toward the nose and extend, and you can add the arm if you want. Okay, so exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend, keep your hips level. So this is either one hand, one foot balance, or two hands, one leg. After movement a little bit, hold. Breathe. Core active, gaze steady. And then come out, return to child's pose. Any child's pose you want. Can be wide-legged, arms out in front, arms by your side, head resting on your arms. So your version of child's pose today. Just let it go. And now inhale, back up to all fours. Tuck your toes, raise your hips up and back into downward facing dog. So this is an arm balance. Press, fingers are spread, press into the ball mounts of your hands, bottom onto the fingers. Take a little weight off the heel of your hand. You can bend your knees deeply, lift your tailbone up, so tilt it up, right up toward the ceiling, and you can gradually straighten your legs. Press the heels toward the floor to get a nice stretch up the back of your legs. Breathe. Make sure your neck is loose. You're not carrying tension there. And here's an option to add a little more balance here. On an inhale, you could raise your right leg up toward the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Press down into your hands, your left heel down, and lift your right leg toward the ceiling. If you'd like to bend your knee and take your chest over, look under your armpit, take your little rotation, that's an option. Or you can stay in regular down dog. And then bring that right leg down if you raised it up, and inhale, left leg up. Option to rotate. So notice your foundation, 2 hands and 1 or 2 feet. And now look up between your hands and walk, step, jump, hop, however you want to get up. Come up into a Uttanasana, standing forward bend. And here you want to bring your navel in and up. Bend your knees as much or little as you want to. And let your upper body hang, gravity lengthening out your low back, any arms you want. And just hang here. This is also a rest pose, so child's pose, down dog, Uttanasana. Great poses for taking a break. And now, best way for you, safely come all the way up to standing. And we'll do our first standing pose, mountain pose. Lift and spread your toes. Balance on the 4 corners of your feet, so there's that balance. You might want to rock from outer to inner edge, front to back a little bit. Find that nice balance between the big toe, little toe, and the corners of your heel. Gently push your toes down, but keep them spread. Little tuck in your tailbone. Activate your legs. Make a little muscle with your quads to bring the kneecaps up. Get those bones in alignment. And then shoulders up, back, and down. Opening the chest, ears over shoulders. Externally rotate. Fingers nice and spread. Reaching down, lifting up. Close your eyes if you have the balance. So mountain pose is, everything is balanced in an alignment, equal standing. And now let's go to our breath and balance our breath. So balance the inhale, the exhale. Slow, deep, even, balanced. Mountain pose, you're grounded and lifting. A balance between those two forces. And then open your eyes and come to the back edge of your mat. Arms can be just down by your side. You could put them on your hips. So as we go, you can decide what you want to do with your arms. This is going to be our first balance, a moving balance. So take your right foot and put it right in front of your left foot. This is all it is. We're just walking, putting our feet one right in front of the other. Make sure your core is engaged here and focus is on something that's not moving. Slowly, like you're walking on a tightrope, and you can use your arms to help you balance till you get to the end of your mat, and then walk backwards. One foot right behind the other. I think it might be a little bit easier than it actually is. Go slowly. Takes a lot of focus. And now, once you get to the end of your mat, we're going to add a little more to it this time. So this time, as you put one foot in front of the other, pause and come up onto your toes. Then put your heels back down. Step forward again, up on your toes. Heels down. Step, lift, lower. You can lift on an inhale. When you get to the end of the mat, reverse it. Remember, in balance, attitude, playful, curious attitude is good. We're practicing. Also remember that just plain walking is the balance, is improving your balance. Okay, now come back to the center of your mat, or anywhere on your mat really, and shake everything out. Maybe if you got some tension going there. And we're going to go to a one-legged asymmetrical balance, tree pose. So begin always with your foundation, then zip up your core, in and up. Let the weight come into your left leg, so come up onto your right toes. So when you're going into balance, you're going to always be mindful. Move slowly at each stage. Get your balance, and then if you want to add on, you can add on. Gaze point, drishti. And then your version of tree pose. So your foot can be, externally rotate your right knee, and then foot can stay on the mat. It can go to your shin, up to your thigh. And when you have that balance, making sure your left hip isn't jutting out, so really firm around the left hip. And then any arms you want. So just take about a minute working on this side, your tree pose on this side. This is where strong ankles are going to help you out. And then come out with as much control as you can. Walk through your feet, take any kind of movement, shake it out. And then come into tree pose on the other side. So press down into your right leg, up on your left toes. Find your gravity, your center of gravity, your balance here, and then tree pose on this side. Doesn't have to be the same as on the other side, so try something new. And remember that props are always appropriate if that makes you feel safer. So a wall, a chair, always good to have those nearby. Okay, then come out from that side, shake it out. Come back to tree pose, just to kind of realign. Come back to full body balance, equal standing. Make sure that as you move into your tree pose, you come from your foundation and work up part by part. Don't rush it. Close your eyes. Relax your face, your jaw, let your shoulders come down from the ears, and also think about bringing those shoulder blades together on the back. So nice open chest. Proud and tall. Slow, deep, even breath. Okay, then come to the middle of your mat and we're going to do a warrior 3 pose, which is the foundation as in tree pose is going to be one leg, but it's not going to be an upright posture. So warrior 3 has your leg coming out behind and your body horizontal on the top. So this might be a good place to have a chair or a wall, either on the side or in front, or even blocks down. I have found, I was practicing this before class, that having, it's nice to have those things there, but it helped me I did better going into it with the things available, but not touching them right away, just having them there in case I lost my balance. Anyway, you do what's best for you, as always. So we're going to start in mountain pose. And I'm facing this way just so you can see better what happens. So start in mountain pose. Inhale your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe keep a little bend. We're going to start with the standing leg being the right leg. So maybe don't hyperextend it. Maybe a slight micro bend in that leg. And you're going to simultaneously step back with your left foot, maybe rest the toes on the mat, lengthen up, and then begin to fold forward as your upper body goes down, your left leg comes up. Lengthen out through the left leg. Lengthen out through both arms. Your gaze is down. If you come out, it's really not too dangerous, so just play around with it. it can help to put a little more weight into the outer edge of your right foot. Okay, then come back up. I don't know how that was, but remember, it's a practice, and really can't get hurt if you fall out of this pose. You just put your foot down. Okay, and we'll try it, shake it out. We'll try the other side. So this time, inhale, arms up. That gives you nice length and lift. And then exhale, begin to bring your right leg back. Try to keep your hips level. Your hands can be in Anjali Mudra or back by your sides. Yeah. And then come on out. Shake it off again. Let's do a little movement, some half sun, just to kind of come back to ourselves. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hips back, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, arms around. Let's do a couple more of those. Inhale up. And time to your own breath, modify any way you want. Both feet on the ground, nice and stable. And the next time you swan dive forward, pause in forward fold. Step your feet back into downward facing dog. Inhale your knees to the mat, feet out to the side, come into a seat with your knees bent, feet out in front. One more balance pose, boat pose. So you're going to balance here on your sit bones. You don't want your back to be rounded. So take a hold of your shins and just use the pressure against your legs to lengthen and straighten your back. Lift your chest. Boat pose is a lot for the core. So firm up your core. You can stay right here, or you can lift your legs up, as long as you don't round your low back. Balancing just on your sit bones. You can lengthen out your arms, straighten your legs. So find the boat pose that you can hold for a couple breaths today. Long, straight back, strong core. And then when you're ready, put your feet back down in the mat and lower down onto your back. Knees bent. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height. Start with your feet hip width apart. And when you come to an exhale, pull your belly in, low back to the mat, bring your knees off to the side, doesn't matter which side. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, belly in, knees to the other side, windshield wipe. So as you move slowly, mindfully through windshield wipe, modify any way you want. You can bring your feet further apart. You can bring your neck into the twist by gazing toward the knees or away from the knees. But do move slowly, mindfully, and bring your belly in as you exhale. So anytime you do a twist, you want to twist from the belly up and give your body room to move by bringing your belly in. Face is relaxed. Shoulders sink into the mat. So we did a lot of holding and in the balance pose, just kind of wringing everything out here. And the next time your legs come to the floor, doesn't matter which side, just pause. We're going to have a held twist here. So modify so that you can release everywhere you can and signal to your body to release. Let the muscles let go, gravity, lengthen them out. Inhale into the greatest sensation. This is your mind directing your breath, just like we did in Nadi Shodhan, the pranayama at the beginning of practice, when we did it without using our fingers. Directing the breath with your mind. So direct the breath on the inhale to the greatest stretch. Exhale, release. On the exhale, just find some little tiny release. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, belly in, knees to the other side. 1 minute stretch on this side. So I didn't mention it, but in yoga we balance the sides of our body. So if we do an asymmetrical pose like tree pose or the all four stretch that we did, we always do it on both sides. So that's a balance. It also allows you to see the differences in your sides, and when you might be aware that one side needs more of something or less of something. So it's all about body awareness. And giving your body what it needs. And now we're ready for Shavasana, but we have plenty of time, so take a minute or two to give your body anything that you want. Listen to your body, and it might be any kind of a pose, movement, stillness, standing, balance, anything. So see if you can just listen and give your body what it needs. Remembering to, I'll tell you when we're about halfway through, and then you can balance out the sides if you've chosen something that is asymmetrical. Okay, so about another minute, so balance out if that's what you need to do. And then move into your choice of Shavasana today. And just like all the other poses, Shavasana is like about balance, so it's symmetrical, balancing your east and west sides. It's not a balance between effort and release, it is total release. So Shavasana in itself is a balance to the effort and that you put forth in practice. And it's the other side of that, total release. And it's stillness to balance out movement. So find your best Shavasana, making sure you're cozy, comfortable, symmetrical, no effort. Just total surrender to the moment. It's not meditation, it's not pranayama, it's just being. And often that can be the most challenging thing, especially the way we live our lives. So give yourself permission to just be. Just for a few minutes. What a gift. To your body and your mind and your spirit. gently bring your awareness back to the space and begin to move your body after a few moments of stillness. Gradually bring yourself over onto your side, resting your head on your arms, keeping your awareness within and just seeing where you are at the end of practice, in your body, in your mind, in your heart. And bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, back to where we started. Eyes closed. Lift up through the crown of your head, tall, straight spine. And I invite you to bring your hands, palms together at your heart space. Bow lightly. Bow to your efforts today, your efforts to bring balance to your body, to your brain, and think about taking the benefits of your balance practice here off the mat, and just to think about the balance in your life, your outside life. So are there areas that are out of balance? Balance between work and play, between caring for others, caring for yourself, between activity and rest. It's good to think about those things once in a while, and maybe you can do some things to find more balance in your life off the mat. And the light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming to yoga, and I will see you back here next week. Have a great day, a great week, and stay in balance.